two notable things about China and Africa this week that are important to take into consideration. China-Africa trade is up by 24%, but let's look closer at the details. Chinese exports to Africa are up by 26%. Chinese imports from Africa are also up by 20%. Sounds great. Look closer at the numbers, you get a clear picture. Chinese exports, although they increased by 26%, the amount is $130 billion. While Chinese imports from Africa, although they increased by 20%, the amount is $74 billion. So Chinese imports from Africa are about 50% of Chinese exports to Africa. China is still running quite a sizable surplus on Africa. But to the defense of the Africans here, really, because there's often a narrative that, oh, helpless Africa, the narrative is often quite strong. But if you look at any other country in this world, you will also find China running a surplus. In other words, its exports to that country or territory being larger than its imports from that territory. Now, of course, the question is, what type of exports are African countries taking to China? We already know the answer to that. In addition to this, there's been a notable, some may call this a pivot, but I'm quite cautious at getting excited about it. China actually hasn't funded any gas, oil, coal extraction projects in Africa since 2019. So that's about a 7-year drought in Chinese funding. But what it has funded, though, anything that is closely related to rare earths and some of these critical minerals. Knowing the close relationship that EVs, wind turbines, and all these things that are associated with a green economy, knowing how closely related they are to the rare earths and critical minerals, you are seeing a China that is turning towards making sure that it maintains its chokehold on rare earth processing area as long as it can. So while people are saying, well, China is not giving money on oil and extraction, China is looking ahead and saying, well, there is an area that is a huge comparative advantage to us right now, and we'd like to stick with that. So that's something for Africa to watch.